a mentor, and the right infrastructure. This is what you need to succeed in your research career in biotechnology. The right mentor who himself is an implementer, combined with the right infrastructure. Why do I say infrastructure? Is because obviously you need a lab where you're going to do your research. And that is how you succeed in a career in biotechnology. So today, as we come together to talk about one such amazing one such expert from our industry, let me invite all of you to come and brainstorm with us the role of infrastructure and the right mentor in having a winning combination for your career. So join us for an enlightening webinar featuring Dr. Sarath Dalai. He is a renowned immunologist with over 2 decades of research experience. And Dr. Dalai is currently the professor and director of biotechnology at Nirma University, and he specializes in cellular immunology and genetic engineering. His extensive career includes significant tenures at prestigious institutions such as NIAID, NIH, John Hopkins School of Medicine in USA, and his research focuses on memory T cell, liver stage immunity, and tumor immunology. Such a renowned personality is today with us to talk about his research, his career life, and of course talk about the MSc admissions at Nirma University. Now, Dr. Dalai has recently published a patent also. We'll be talking about that also. And he has published in top tier journals and has received numerous awards for his contribution in the field of immunology. So join us to gain a unique insight from his vast experience in both academia as well as industry. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you so much for joining in and good evening. Today, we are not just going to talk about MSc admissions, about his career, about his struggle, about his life, about the research which he has pursued, and of course, the recent breakthrough he had in the chimeric protein domain. So let's invite Dr. Sarath Dalai. Hello, sir. Good evening and welcome to the session. Can you hear me?
Yes, thank you.
Namaskar, sir. How are you?
I'm fine.
So we were just before this webinar talking about the vast experience you have in immunology and all the research which you have done till date. If you could throw some light on your research career before we get started, sir.
So let me begin with how I started, coming to biology.
Right.
In fact, I did my BSc in physics.
Right. I saw that.
To do biotechnology. Then I fell in love in immunology. And then went to United States, did my research in virology, immunology, malaria vaccine.
Right.
And I returned here. So most of the things have happened probably accidentally to me, but probably
Right.
got a purpose, But
Right.
at my heart, I want to become a teacher. Although I'm a passionate, researcher, but I want to teach young people, because many things I cannot do. I know that, but at
Right.
least if I can inspire them through teaching, putting, giving them new ideas, they will translate. So that was my, that is how I have shaped my career, if you will. And I'm here in Gujarat, near my university. 2 years before coming here, I had no idea about Nirma University. Although when I left India, that was in '99, we knew Nirma as a soap industry. But over the years, they have taken initiative to have an university, which is, very modern in its, nature.
Right.
And with unique goals, set for younger people. So,
True.
so this has been my kind of an experiment for me,
Right.
and it seems to be working well.
Right. So, very interesting point there that you were physics and then you transitioned to biotechnology and then immunology. So, how it all happened? instantly, or it happened over a period of time?
I would say something happened instantly, or also something was somewhere down the road. To be honest, while doing physics, I also thought of thinking of medicine, because my
Right,
interest was always in health science, but I was good in physics and math. That is why I took physics honors.
right,
And couple of times I wrote medical entrance tests, I could not get through. But then
right,
in last year of my, BSc, I wrote this entrance test for JNU. And incidentally, JNU was inviting students from physical science background.
right,
So you attempt questions from physics, chemistry, mathematics, which is now combined JNU test, no? And
right,
of JNU, they can come there. So I did well because I was preparing, and
Mhm.
physics and math was my main strength. So I
Right,
applied for JNU. So among 10,000 students, I was on top 10, 12. So that is how I came to JNU. Initially, it was a bit difficult because new terminology, I have to
right,
react to it. But then slowly I realized this is something I must do. So, and that is how, because of my interest in health science, I thought immunology is very close to my heart. So I can do something. That is how my interest actually generated in immunology. So
right, right.
deviate much, except trying to do varieties of things which can support my interest in immunology.
Right. So, sir, I have a surprise for you. You will not believe one of your alumni, one of your student, has been working with Biotechnika for almost a decade now, for last 10 years. And her name is Mrs. Tithi Saha. She's a well-renowned faculty member at Biotechnika in
Very good.
the education department. So I would like to invite her on the screen so that she can share the feedback of Nirma University and the able leadership which you have. So let me bring up. Hello, Tithi ma'am. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible. Good evening. How are
Oh,
you?
very nice. I still
I'm
remember
good.
her face.
Hello, sir. Namaste. How are you, sir?
Yeah, fine. Very nice.
So it's
Yeah.
it's 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 a huge opportunity. Like yesterday, I reached to Shekhar sir, ki, sir, give me opportunity. If this is happening, I want to be a part of this. Like you can
Very
never
nice.
take out your college from your life. It is where everything is built upon.
Right, right. So, Tithi ma'am, students already know you. They are a big fan of your teaching and your expertise in genetics and all other subjects. So, you have been a student there in Nirma University. If you could share your feedback with our audience today, that will be of great help.
So, sir, I was student in 2004 to 2007 2009 batch. So it's like
Right,
15 years back. At that time, also Nirma University's Institute of Science. It was a building at that time. We did not have a separate building, but that was coming up. But at that time, also we had excellent infrastructure. In fact, one of the best in entire Gujarat state. And also,
right,
like just one example that I would like to share, that in MSc we have 6 months dissertation. We had in-house dissertation, and sir, from that 6 month dissertation I have two publications. So one book
right.
chapter, one international publication I have done. So you can imagine with that level of in-house
Supportive.
research going on, and the support and the kind of the guidance that I got from my professors. So that helped, because MSc you are completely clueless. We did, like, as for me, I can say that I did not have much idea about how to publish, which journal to approach, nothing. So it was completely my guide, Dr. Shali. He only helped me with all the publications and everything. And it was like the infrastructure. And then later, when we passed out, next time I went also, because I actually was a gold medalist, so I had to collect the gold medal. So that time, the university, the new building has set up. So it was so
Right.
good. Yes, it was amazing to see that kind of infrastructure over there.
I'm sure Dr. Dalai will be delighted to see you today as
Very nice.
established expert in the industry. Right, Dr. Dalai, sir? Is that not
Thank
such
you.
a
Very,
proud
very
moment
nice.
for all of us? Right. So thank you, Tithi ma'am, for that feedback. And for the audience, did you just notice what happened? A gold medalist from Nirma University has been teaching you all that in Biotechnika. And you can see this. herself had a very good experience when she was learning there. So she is a live example of if you study in Nirma University, what happens, right? So thank you so much, Tithi ma'am. I'm told that you have a busy schedule, so you can go ahead and we'll continue our conversation with Dr.
Thank you, sir.
Dalai
It
sir.
was so nice to meet you,
Very
Dr.
nice
Dalai.
to see
Thank
you.
you, sir.
Thank you. So, sir, coming back to now Nirma University, like you said, from washing powder Nirma to the transition into the best university for life sciences in our country, what is the focus and the scope of the course which you are offering for our students? If you could throw some light on that.
So, okay, if you look at, sometimes this is what experts tell us, you teach too much.
Right.
But then my answer is that unless we teach certain basics, students are not going to be very successful.
Right.
You see,
True.
these days, in our time, we had only MSc Biotechnology. That too also in few universities, 6 universities when I joined. But then afterwards, now you see BSc Biotechnology. Everywhere you will find BSc Biotechnology, very specialized. BSc used to be botany, zoology, biology.
True.
But now you have very specialized, and I realize that most of the courses which are essential to become a good biologist are not taught at BSc level. And this is where our struggle comes. So this is, we thought at least 3 full semesters, they have to learn lot of basics, of course, advanced level compared to BSc. So this is where we have given a lot of emphasis on teaching cell biology, molecular biology, genetic engineering, physiology,
Right. Right.
microbial genetics, evolution, cancer biology, immunology, genetics, vaccines, all these things, so that students are ready for not only academics but also for
Mhm.
industry. Okay, and
Right.
when they think of research, higher studies, these are the basic courses they need to learn.
Of
And in
course.
fact, what we have done, although we have 3 different programs, biotechnology, biochemistry, and microbiology,
Hmm.
in initial semesters, many of those courses are very common. Let's say cell biology, molecular
Right.
biology, genetic
Right.
engineering, genomics, proteomics. As the fields are growing and new, disciplines are introduced, courses are introduced, we try to teach most of the things to all our students. And in fact,
Right.
laboratory also, we have techniques we are also teaching to our students so that they do not lack, at least common laboratory techniques, practicals which are conducted. We don't want to give only specialized, practical training to our students. They should
Right.
learn, let's say, molecular biology. It has become a common, immunology, protein purification, all these things, so that they are better equipped for tomorrow. So that
Correct.
is, something we always, are concerned. But as an academic institute, if you look at, those are their focus. And if you look at, we have 3 basically pillars on which, we work on. And our students actually have get a lot of scope:
Right.
research, teaching, and biopharma industries. When they go for placement,
Correct.
mainly students go for research. Some
Right.
students passionately pursue teaching, and almost 30 to 40% of our students go to biopharma industry, and many students also take up job in government, and that too also, even if so-called administrative, but they are related to bioscience or life science related job, and decision making, many times you'll find you need those understanding of science behind it. So although there are
Right.
few percent, could be 2% of students, but still they go for these things. But
Right.
otherwise, mostly their scope is teaching, research, and biopharma jobs.
And given that Gujarat is the hub for biopharmaceutical companies
Yes.
and industry, so definitely it is like getting out of the college and you have so many companies where you can
Yeah.
get placed. So that's a great place to be in for sure. So, sir, now coming to the most significant research projects which the students are taking in your department, if you could throw some light on, because it's not only about learning, it's about doing some research. What are we doing there?
Okay. So this is why, as Tithi has already told you, when she was here, initial periods,
Right.
We had only last semesters, we had the dissertation for fourth semester.
Ji.
And that too also because infrastructure was limited, most of them are going to industry, But
Correct.
then as I joined here and just one year before, what we decided that our students should mostly do the dissertation, in-house dissertation. Earlier,
Correct.
most of them are going outside. Why we did that? Because I strongly felt that when our students go to industry, mostly they have to work on their ideas. They can learn a lot of techniques, but we want to give them scientific training. When they work in the laboratory, they should not work only our instruction.
Correct.
That already experiment is design, you do this. So that is not a scientific. That is more of a technical training. So this
True.
is where we thought when students do research here, just like PhD students do their research. So we have designed our MSc dissertation in a mini PhD format. Students, of
Right.
course, even mentors, they have to come up with their own proposal, design experiment. Wherever help required, they will get help from PhD guides as well as PhD students, and they carry. And that seems to be working very well. And it also help new faculty who are joining. To generate even good data so that they can apply for grants. They can publish that data. They can also apply for grants. So this help overall students' growth as well as the faculty to grow, because ultimately institute's growth is basically linked with faculty and students' growth. So
Very
this
true.
and the particular areas that we focus on basically in diabetes, metabolic disorders, immunology is my area, vaccine or immunomodulator. Now we have also faculty in other areas of immunology. We have faculty working in the area of bioremediation, antibiotic resistance, like few, cancer also now becoming a major focus of our, research at Institute of Science. So students get projects related to these areas. So, so in a way that they are better trained. Many of these students actually work directly under those projects which are already funded.
Right.
Otherwise,
Right.
they have institutional support all the time to pursue their idea.
Right. So, sir, talking about cancer, because you just now mentioned that, so one of the cancer treatment strategy is the chimeric IL-15 development, and recently you received a patent for that. If you could talk about that a bit, because that will serve as an inspiration to the future scientists of our country who are watching this video.
So, yeah, to be candid, I'm not a cancer biologist. Neither I declare myself a cancer immunologist. Some people name me I'm a malaria person. Some people name me I'm a vaccine guy. Actually, I have one true designation. I'm an immunologist, and I have been playing with T cells for long. Okay,
Right.
but my research in the area of malaria vaccine has actually induced me to think how to improve the T cell response, because liver stage response, particularly if you want to take care of malaria infection, you should target at the liver stage, and for that CD8 response is critical, and that too also many intracellular pathogens like viruses, and CD8
Right.
which many times we call it cytotoxic T cells.
Right. Of course.
So when you generate these cells, whether naturally or through vaccine, you must generate good number of the cells which is called memory cells, as if they remember the first insult, but they must be maintained and then when you need, you have to reactivate them. When you, let's say we have taken COVID vaccines,
Right.
and infection is now no more there, active infection, but let's say down the road after 5 years, we encounter the same infection. The T
Right.
cells that we have generated must wake up. That is called reactivation. So
Correct.
initially, this interleukin 15, which was known for maintaining the cells once you generate,
Mm-hmm.
to be maintained, for which you do not need antigen but the cytokine. But
Right.
now this cytokine also helps in generating those memory cells so that this can be used in the vaccine formulation to generate good number of those memory cells which we need. Of course, they will
Right.
be maintained, but then it also need to be reactivated. And this
Correct.
reactivation potential we are exploiting for the cancer therapy, because in the tumor microenvironment, there are a
Right.
lot of called tumor infiltrating lymphocytes, and
Correct.
CD8 T cells are important player. What happens? These T cells go there, or many other immune cells go there with the intention of killing the tumor cells, but over the time they get tolerized, suppressed. they become helpless.
Right.
So when you infuse interleukin 15, so they get reactivated and start regressing the tumor. But what
Okay.
happens interleukin 15 native form half-life is only 1 hour. So
Correct.
daily dose of interleukin 15 you have to give to patient for 4 to 5 weeks, which
Right.
becomes very expensive. And interleukin 15 being an inflammatory cytokine also induces other disorders. You may be taking care of cancer, you end up with, vitiligo or maybe arthritis. So you are creating a lot of side effects. So this is where I thought, can we stabilize this molecule? If we improve the half-life, maybe we may be giving lesser number of infusions. That way side effect will be reduced and it will be less expensive. It could be more affordable. You see, when you think of doing, having any drugs, biologics, and
Right.
particularly in countries like India, where most of us cannot afford, we have to
Mm-hmm.
have this drug, which are affordable. This is where I thought it's a good idea. And the design which has gone into that, it is relatively simpler, so it
Right.
can be directly presented to the T cells. And in fact, we have shown that in tumor model, in mouse model, this is helping regressing the tumor. So, and
Correct.
in vaccine model also, we are showing that it is generating good T cell response, even B cell response. So
Right.
from that, now we are doing refined experiment, and we have also got support from DBT. We'll be getting money soon to do many other experiments. So,
Right.
although this interleukin 15 is regressing the tumor, it may not be 100%, but with checkpoint inhibitors, which has been now being used to regress tumor, which is also not 100%, but this combination will work out very well. So this is what
Right.
the thought we have, for this interleukin 15.
So, having said that, you mentioned about the funding, and the other day we were talking, and you mentioned about the amount of funding the institute is receiving from DBT and BIRAC. So, if you could throw some light on how it is helping the students who want to pursue their research career.
Okay. So what happens, unlike many other institutes, even central institute, our
Right.
institutional funding we have, bifurcated in such a way, when students come here, first 3 semesters, they have to go to the laboratory to learn the techniques. We call laboratory practical. That is, those in the training labs, they learn various techniques. So that also requires a lot of consumables. So we have a budget head which will take care of those regular practicals, techniques just to teach them. When they come to the 4th semester, partly it starts in the 3rd semester, there is a
Correct.
special funding for them. Each student will get certain amount of money. And most of the students work in group of 2 or 3 students because otherwise it becomes too expensive. So they
Correct.
get money through that. And our PhD students also get money directly from the institute, at least 50,000 per year, which is used for consumable. So let's say each
Wonderful.
faculty have 4 or 5 PhD students, then they will get at least 2.5 to 3 lakhs consumables, some MSc students money. On top of that, also when we get funding from the external funding agency like DBT or DST, GSBTM or state funding agencies, because many projects have common objectives, means at least common reagents. So that
Correct.
helps students. Otherwise, whatever money we have for MSc students, it will not be sufficient to buy many reagents. Like molecular biology reagents are very expensive. Antibodies are very expensive. But when we
Right.
put all these resources that help everybody, our PhD students, our MSc students, in fact, MSc students are benefited more in the process, even if they are here for short time. So they are able to effectively carry out their project. So this is one.
Right.
In our experience, if you look at overall funding, put together all individual grants for each faculty, put together at least in the tune of 1 to 2 crores every year we get for our institute. So that cushion a lot of expenses. Otherwise, university has to invest those amount, which is also often difficult. It's a self-finance institute. So these
Right.
mechanisms are actually helping us, take care of our research need.
Right, right. So, sir, just when we started this webinar today, we had a live example, your own student, and she is working in Biotechnika now, so successful. And but because there are a lot of students and their parents who will be watching this video later on, and they would be interested to know some success stories out of your institution. in the industry or academia, if you could share some examples, that will be very helpful.
Yeah, initial years we had a Nirma lab,
Right.
and in fact, a couple of our graduates have already got the training and gone to have their own industry. So, but afterwards, what has happened? Most of the students have taken interest in more basic research. So many of our students are pursuing PhD in Europe, USA, Canada. In fact, some of my MSc students who have got training through their dissertation project have already are doing PhD. Many of them are graduated, settled there also. Many students are doing PhD in various institutes, national institute inside the country. Some of our students, in fact, very passionately gone to teaching UG students and PG students, and that is also equally important. As you can understand, in high school, you need even good biology students. No, so that
Right.
is biopharma also, because that is the first focus of our students when they come here. They want to get a job in industry, but as they
Right.
go, they realize there are various options also available, and that is also one way helping our society, in terms of contributing to various, areas. Then many students who stay here for PhD, at least 40% of our own MSc students enroll into our PhD program. You know,
Right.
40% of our PhD intake, and many of
Mm-hmm.
the students after PhD they are doing very well. For example, three of my PhD students who have gone to USA since last
Mm-hmm.
5-6 years, they are now in senior positions, doing very good research. University of Washington, you might be knowing, in one of the top university in USA, UCLA also an example, NIH, likewise various top universities. Their research scientists going to become faculty inside country. The student who made this, who contributed to make this interleukin 15, he is an assistant professor in immunology in one government college in MP. He did not want to go abroad. He said, I want to stay in country and do my, contribute to my, country. So he stayed there. Many of our students and biopharma industries also PhD students. One student is a faculty in GTU, also associate professor. Likewise, I just am naming few. So from all the labs, PI's lab, also students who have been graduated quite successful, that way. We may be a small institute, but we are actually contributing to, this intellectual pool in the country.
No, definitely not. It's not a small institute, sir. It is one of the biggest, as far as I know, and most successful. But it's you're being very humble by saying that. So now coming to the next question, sir, which I have is about the dissertation, because many students I know in various colleges, they face a lot of challenges when they have to do their MSc dissertation. How are you supporting your MSc students there? If you could throw some light on that.
So, okay, when I joined in 2011, as Tithi has already, explained, it is only in one semester they had to do the dissertation. So normally
Correct.
our fourth semester would start end of December or beginning of January, and it will
Right.
end by middle of May. Then I realized they have only 4 months time in hand, but then out of 4 months, 2 months will go in preparation, and then effectively they will work for 2 or maximum 3 months, which is very little time. So
Correct.
then I persuaded my colleagues, we said, let us, our student give part of their time, even if it's 6 to 10 hours per week, exclusively for dissertation during while they are learning various other common techniques, lab techniques. Let them prepare themselves for dissertation in the fourth semester. So when you say preparation, they have to think of a scientific project. We don't want them to work on our idea only. They have to also come up with their own idea. This is where a mentor will be assigned. They write their project and also defend. So that way
Okay.
they know what to do. And during this time also they will order reagent. By December they are all ready, and certain special technique also they have to learn. Let's say animal handling. If somebody has not learned PCR properly, they will also learn. Likewise, many special techniques which will be required for the dissertation, they learn those techniques well during the third semester. So now they have entire 5 months, 4 to 5 months, at their hand to execute their projects. And then we also assign some PhD students, for any direct help to them. That also helps. So they are under the mentorship, both PhD, their guides, dissertation guide, as well as their PhD students also who have common interest in those projects. So that
Right.
works very well. And we also make sure students write their own thesis. We don't write, rather we only correct the thesis. We teach them how to write. Although during research methodology also we give them training how to write a thesis. It's a kind of just like you are training your PhD students, they also get similar training, so that helps them. They become rather relatively independent, after a few months of working. So this works out, very well.
Right, right. I so far in my interactions, sir, one thing I understood very clearly is at Nirma, you are not just teaching the bookish knowledge. You are rather putting the students in the lab and allowing them to experiment and understand through experiment. That's a very good approach, and I appreciate that. Now coming to publishing papers, sir, because I'm sure if they are doing research, they have to publish papers. So how you're supporting them and what kind of research journals they are publishing under your guidance?
Okay, so I just want to be a little candid. It is possible sometimes a student doing the research work, the same year paper might come, and it
Right,
might take a couple of years, because what happens when you publish a paper, it has to be a complete story. So it is possible maybe it might take 2-3 years, and make a story, but whoever students has contributed to that work will get the authorship. And in fact, some of my students have worked, their paper has been published in Frontiers in Immunology, Parasite Immunology, Cellular Immunology.
right,
And one of our colleague, who actually, almost all of his students actually publish papers every year or every alternative year. I know whoever contribute to that work, they do publish. So that way we do not actually, undervalue our students' contribution. And just for quickly publish anything and anywhere, that approach also we do not take.
right.
PhD students
Of course.
we take quality paper, and MSc students also will be part of that efforts. If MSc student has contributed more, then can be also first author. But it has to be
Right.
published in good impact factor journal. Lately, since last few years, I have told my faculty, we will not publish in any journal whose impact factor is, less than 2 or 3. So we have now gone up to 10 impact factor journal, and we want to maintain.
Wonderful. That's really great. So, sir, now coming to the next aspect, uh, organization like Nirma University, because it started from its inception, it's always from the industry. Nirma is an industry, right? It was a company. So, as a research institution which is also giving MSc course for the students, many students have asked me when is the next batch starting and what are the formalities they need to do. Do they have to write any entrance exam or will there be an interview? So if you could throw some light on the admission process for MSc at Nirma.
So we have already advertised for our admission. Applications are out. They can go to Nirma University Institute of Science. They will find out, how to
Right.
apply. It will be online application. There is
Right.
some application fee. Once they submit all these documents required and pay the application fee, then so that completes the process, and they are going to get the intimation. And June
Right.
3rd is the last day for applying. And June 7th, we'll have an entrance test. They are done in campus. So, and then same day, most likely same day also we'll be doing counseling based on the merits.
Right.
50% is basically qualifying marks, but just to be eligible. But based on the merits in the entrance, they are going to, and their choice for particular discipline like biotechnology or biochemistry and microbiology, they will get the admission.
Right. Right. So, sir, once they have taken admission and the classes have started and all that, obviously a professional course demands some kind of, at the end, some kind of collaboration with the industry or other organizations. What kind of collaborations Nirma University is having, which is going to help the students?
So, in terms of collaboration with industry, although we have very limited, but do we have quite a bit, at least inside the Gujarat, like
Right.
Sun Pharma, Intras, Zydus, Cadila. So we have different kind of collaboration. One kind of collaboration which helps in our research. Either we
Right.
go there, use their instrument, maybe their animal facility, or they supply us, let's say animals. That is one kind of collaboration. We have
Right.
also collaboration where students can go there for their summer internship. We expect our students to do their summer internship in industry, preferably. If they are not
Right.
enough, opportunity available, they can go to national labs. So
Right.
that is one way to look at. Or good universities where through INSA program, all these things, they can go to various laboratories where they get training. So we do have that provision. It happens once in a while. If some students do not get, maybe they can go to some institute inside Ahmedabad itself, or they do their dissertation work. Summer internship they can do in our
Right.
institute, but they all have to go for compulsory summer internship of 21 working days.
Right. So, sir, coming to because you have vast experience, more than 30 years of experience in research, industry, academia, and these students are just getting started. Maybe they've just passed bachelor's. They're looking for a master's degree. What will be your advice to them for those who want to make a career in research?
So, if they really want to go ahead with the research as a career, if you consider that as a career, mostly it is
Right.
a passion, they must definitely think of PhD. But then for that also they have to prepare themselves, because there are national tests like NET, CSR, NET, UGC. They must qualify those tests, and that helps them widen their option in terms of applying to various institutes, because now for PhD that has become a kind of minimum qualification. And that is
Correct.
why the classroom teaching, they should take it very seriously. And
True.
we have attendance policy of 85%. We are very strict about it because we want students to come to the classroom. They will
Right.
have self-learning, but not going to the classroom, they cannot have effective learning, because many things we share as teacher from our experience, which they will miss if they not attend the class. So that is must. Attend
Right.
the laboratory. Many things they have to learn. Even if when they are conducting laboratory practicals or learning techniques, many theory also are behind. And that also they have to learn effectively if they want to really crack those tests. And in the
Right.
library also, we expect our students to spend more and more time in the library rather than going home, because 4 o'clock or 6 o'clock, they have bus to go or take back them home. We should spend time in the library. We have varieties of book, not only reference book, which is required for their regular study, but we have also kept books which will help them prepare for CSR UGC test. And those
Right.
who want to go abroad for PhD, let's say USA, they must prepare while they are studying here. Definitely in the second year, they should prepare for their GRE, or this IELTS if they want to Canada. Likewise, so I always advise my students, do not think of taking a break 1 year after their MSc, because many students may find it difficult. I tell the girls jokingly, once your MSc is over, you are staying home for 1 year. If nothing happens, your parents will think of getting you married and get rid of from home. No, it is better that do everything during your MSc
That
time, because
must
that
be
is the
said.
time you are very active and you can achieve a lot. So this is what is my advice. Those who really want to do research, they should prepare themselves from the day one as they enter here, and crack all these entrance tests, whatever level of test they have, and our coursework actually enable them. Some
Right.
students, they are highly successful. Some students do not do. Of course, they go to various options. But I would advise they should take a higher call, prepare themselves for the best option available.
Of course. So, sir, now we will be opening our talk for the questions from audience. So, we have a question from Kamini, and she's asking for poor children from poor background. Is there any financial assistance such as scholarships available in Nirma University?
We have very limited one. There is something called on while you learn.
Right.
So there, we give students, they have to work after working hour, let's say 4 to 6. That is not our active working hour, because most of the teaching and practical The laboratory is finished by that time. So 2 hours they have to work, 5 days, 10 hours per week, and for which we pay, decent amount. So that is the only scholarship at present moment is available. Otherwise, government of Gujarat has various schemes which is actually provided to students, those who are coming from lower income groups. So for them,
Right.
there are scholarships available which we facilitate. But from university side, at present moment, we have this scheme. Which
Okay.
are-
So the next question we have is from Himanshu, and he's asking, after BSc Biotechnology or say MSc Biotechnology, what are the government jobs available where only biotech students are eligible?
Government jobs, let's say if you think of, GSBTM or GBRC, Gujarat
Right.
Biotechnology Research Center, that is a government organization, you can say. So they, regularly recruit students as a research fellow. That is
Right.
something comes to my mind immediately.
Right.
And there are jobs where they take students, may not necessarily only biotechnology background, for any biology background, they will take those students, there are government, let's say, veterinary institutes, they will also take students from there. These are permanent jobs, So likewise, even certain vaccine institutes are also there, So those jobs will be there, but most of the jobs, if you look at, so they are in biopharma industries, and obviously teaching is something. There are most of the colleges are government colleges, They are also they are going to get teaching job. Once only thing that they have to clear the net or slate. So
Right.
that is, but otherwise there is plenty of opportunity in private sectors, in research,
Right. So, sir, next question which we have is nowadays UGC has launched a 4 years of BSc Biotechnology instead of 3 years. So, what is the difference that a 3 year and a 4 year does? If you can throw some light on that.
Yes. So, in fact, we wanted to also start this, 4 years course, or maybe integrated BSc MSc program. We'll be starting maybe in couple of years, But here,
Right.
the whole idea is just like if you look at BTech, engineering students, they go for 4 years. This is
Correct.
more like an USA pattern where bachelor's is 4 years. After that, you can go for PhD. How? But in
Right.
our system of 2 and 3 plus 2, that means 2 years high school, 3 years BSc, then 2 years MSc, then you will be eligible for PhD. What they're
True.
trying to do that instead of having compulsory MSc, you can have 4 years of bachelor, and within that there are categories. They will have honors, or they can have BSc by research. So this saves actually time. 1 year at least it saves time, So just like engineering students can go for PhD after 4 years, here science students also can go for PhD after 4 years. In the 3 years BSc program, they did not have research component. There is no compulsory research. Although some places they could be giving as an optional, doing
Right.
some 2 months project. But in the 4 year BSc, they will be definitely have 6 months rigorous research, and
Right.
that help. If they do not take up that, they have to do some minor project and many specialized courses. So
Right.
depending whether they are doing research or do not do research, they will be getting degree BSc by research, or BSc itself only. But definitely this helps their time, and this is in a way better that they don't have to go through another year of extra time and efforts. Anyway, when they go for PhD, their training will start all over again. Why not they
Right.
save some time here? Hmm?
True.
So
True.
it's a much better way of saving their time or resources.
Right. So the next question is from Kamini again, and she says that I have done graduation in industrial microbiology. So which MSc stream she should go for? MSc Biotechnology or MSc Microbiology?
Any of these two will be fine. So what we have noticed that many of our students, when they come here to do their MSc, either I have seen most of the students choose biotechnology. And
Right.
this, terminology probably attracts them better. It's a technology.
Mm-hmm.
But students who are actually passionate about studying microbiology, they also go. But then both the courses, if you look at their syllabus course curriculum, most of the courses are very common, between biotechnology and microbiology. There are few courses are different, because there are elective courses are there. So I would
Right.
suggest any of these, that interest them, But let's say when they go for industrial microbiology, they have to study also fermentation technology, one course, let's say, for example, which biotechnology students also have to study. And let's say students from microbiology background, they are interested in, medical microbiology, vaccinology. Biotechnology students have to take vaccinology as a compulsory course, for example. And microbiology students also can take the same course if they're interested in vaccine. So likewise, I would say any of these branches, if they have a choice, they can go for it.
Right. So, sir, the next question which we have is very relevant.
Microbiology gives a better option if they want to go for higher studies. It doesn't
Okay.
limit their option. Yeah.
Right, right. I hope that answers your question, Kamini. So we have a question from Gajadhar, and he says that he has done a BSc in biotechnology honors, and he is a bit confused about MSc, which MSc to choose. So is there any counseling provided by Nirma University to guide students on which MSc stream they should choose?
Yes, during admission, we do provide counseling. So
Right.
If he has done BSc biotechnology, he will be a good fit for biotechnology or microbiology. Because certain courses in biochemistry, which of course we do not teach just like a chemistry course, they can opt for it. But best option would be either biotechnology or microbiology.
Right, right. So the next question which we have from Himanshu again, and he's asking, after BSc biotechnology, can he go for MTech biotechnology?
Yes, he can go. Only thing is that he has to write the GATE.
Right.
If you would have option to go for PhD, I would suggest he should think of PhD over MTech biotechnology, because that is also another master's course, no?
Yeah.
Unless he is really going to get into industry, for which that might require a special training, which he might get through MTech. Otherwise, I would suggest going for PhD would be better option.
Right, right. So I think one question which keeps coming from various students is doing MSc in India versus doing MSc abroad, which is better and good for career. What will be your take on that?
It all depends. I would say, many students do that, even they do that after even getting MSc degree. When they go for PhD, they find certain universities do not offer PhD directly, because
Right.
they may be lacking certain courses. They have to do another year of at least 1 year of MS course, then go for PhD. I would suggest if they are getting into a decent MSc program in the country, it is worth doing MSc here and go for PhD abroad.
True.
So at least that is going to save them some time and also money. And
Right.
particularly, I have noticed the students which are going to Europe for doing MSc in biotechnology, I
Right.
don't, with all due respect to the educational institute, I have always found they are actually not taught very well, even not technically also. So why to
Right.
waste money, So this is where, I would suggest, you're going there, you go for PhD, do MSc from a decent institute here.
Right, right. So I think with this we come to an end of our session. Sir, this was really insightful, all the guidance which you provided to our students and the audience there. Now, one last thing which I would like to understand is Nirma University has been providing this course for several years now. And if you could quickly tell the students about the last dates once again and the process to take admission and whom to contact if in case they have any questions, that will be really helpful.
Okay. So June 3rd is the last day to apply for it. So it's online application. So there is one email. There is something like admission.is@nirmauni.ac.in. I think I remember it correctly. So,
Right.
but if you don't remember anything, just go to Nirma University, Institute of Science. You'll get all the details.
Right.
Applications available online, and
Right.
you fill in. If anytime you have any problem, go to that email and send us the email. So that is better way of connecting rather than calling anybody.
Right.
In most cases, if you find nobody is answering, just write to director.is@nirmauni.ac.in. We'll definitely come back to you.
Okay. All right. So with this, we come to an end of our session. Thank you so much, sir, for your time, and I wish you all the best for the admissions in Nirma University, and all the students out there who are going to take admission. I'm sure they're going to be blessed, and under your guidance and Professor Dr. Ravi Kant's guidance, definitely they're going to be benefited a lot. And students, if you have any questions or queries about this course, you can feel free to write to me at shekhar@biotechnika.org. I will write it down and show it on the screen. You can please email me if in case you have any questions or any doubts about this, so that I can guide you personally. Thank you so much, sir, for your time. Please take care. All the best. Take care, students. Bye-bye. Good night.